that's me. We're back here with Doki-Doki Literature Club side plus stories. Wait a minute, hold on. Doki-Doki Literature Club plus side stories. There we go. In what will be, sensibly, our final episode of this. And I'm emotionally prepared. I'm not gonna cry when it's over. I mean, I might cry for other reasons during, but that remains to be seen. A completely off-the-walls random side note. If you're gonna get the Good Smile shirts for this game, maybe don't get it in blue, because it kind of fades a lot quicker than I thought it would. I sort of assumed that a darker color would stick better somehow. I guess I don't really know why I thought that. The pink one I have has been totally fine, the Natsuki one. So I'll probably get a pink Sayuri one as well to replace this one when it inevitably crumbles to dust. Anyhow, who knows if this is going to be long or short. I just know it's going to be great. Because they all have been so far. Unless they try and meet back up with their little horror phenomenon going on, in which case it will be slightly less great. But I have faith that they won't. So let's just bear our feelings and move henceforth. Whoa. Oh, music is new and different. Okay, everyone. We're going to be taking a break from the usual activities today. I was thinking since people are starting to talk about the festival, it's a good time for us to go over the general direction of the club and all that. I think it'll help us figure out what to do for the festival, you know? I think it bears noting that all that nonsense about VMs and stuff was just part, at least in part, just to tell us that this is separate from the main canon, largely. I know it already said that, but in the sense that the chronology will be different, so they're already talking about the festival. Regardless, Sayuri and I already came up with a really good plan. Really? For the festival?
Yeah, so the plan is this, okay? You and Yuri collect information ahead of time on which clubs and classes are doing food booths. Then we can take a map and plan the most efficient route so we can get to most of them before the lines get too long.
Hey, that has nothing to do with the club. It has to do with the festival, though.
Well, you have to let me finish.
Alright, fine, go ahead.
Right, so basically we get all the food we can, then we come back here and we all eat together. That's all.
Wow, I got tricked twice by the same joke. Boo! Don't be a hater, it's not like you can come up with anything better. Look, even Yuri was thinking about it. No, I wasn't. I would really prefer to do something literature-related. We can eat together anytime. The festival is a unique opportunity. Besides, it's been quite a while since we've seen any new interest in the club. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We really get a shot at showing people what the literature club is all about. I'll tell you what. We can do both, right? We'll make time for your food mission and still put together a public event.
Oh my gosh, yes! I was just joking, that's a really good idea.
Well, I'm glad that's settled. I think the question is how to come up with an event that demonstrates everything you can get out of the literature club.
Well, that's kind of tough because everyone gets something different out of the club.
Okay, how about this? Let's go around and have each of us talk about what we've gotten out of the club so far. That could really help us figure out what kind of reputation we want to build. Uh-oh, this is going to be hard for some individuals among us.
Yeah!
That's too embarrassing.
Oh, I bet you'd have so much to talk about.
That's exactly why. And I'm sure Natsuki feels the same way.
Well,
maybe, but I didn't plan on arguing against it or anything. I mean, it's the literature club. We talk about that stuff together, right? And the only way to get more comfortable with it is to suck it up and do it. Oh, you're not wrong. I'm sorry for being resistant.
It's not good to say suck it up because it sounds like their feelings don't matter.
Right? My bad. It's just a habit I need to break. Well, anyway, who's gonna start?
I'll start! I was the first to join after all.
Wouldn't that be me?
No, I want to go first.
Fine. You can start, I don't mind.
Yay! So, gosh, it feels like so long ago. I think I joined because I wanted to have fun sharing poems with people. It seemed like it would be a safe way to express myself. You know, like, if it's just a poem, then I can share it without feeling like I'm burdening everyone with my problems. And I thought it would be a really good way to get to know other people, too. So, yeah, I was really surprised when I walked in and it was just Monica. And she was sleeping!
Don't remind me of that. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, but it seemed like so much fun to help start a new club. Especially since writing helped me so much. I wanted to see it help other people, too. But it ended up being me who was inspired, because I remember feeling like Monica was just so sweet and mature, and that I could trust her with anything. It made me feel a lot less alone, having someone who knew even the bad things about me. And at that point, I knew the literature club was going to be special for a lot of people.
Yeah, I felt the same way. It really helped give the club a more cohesive vision.
Yeah, and then Yuri joined, but she was so different from us, and Natsuki too. I think, for Yuri, it really helped me to take the lead before she was able to open up a little. But Natsuki was kind of the opposite, where she wasn't ready to get really close to someone really quickly. I never really thought about that sort of thing. I really feel like I've gotten better at understanding people's different needs. And that makes me really happy, because my friends are just the most important thing to me. and whatever new members we get, I want to help them in those ways too.
I don't know if I would have continued coming to the club if it weren't for you. As always, she is the hero of all stories.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I know it wasn't too long ago, but it hurts to think about my behavior back then. I was really short-sighted. The only reason I came was to find others who were into fantasy. I suppose that was my idea of making friends with people. And I remember feeling uncomfortable because you and I have such different energy. I had such a specific idea of the kind of person I could be friends with, so when Sairi tried so hard to get to know me, I felt like I was just wasting her time. I think I was naive to assume that similar interests were the key component of friendship. Sairi and I were able to be friends because she always thinks about the needs of other people. That's something I never knew how to do, or even thought to do. But I stayed in the club, thanks to that, and I started trying as hard as I could to understand people better. You really went above and beyond when it came to that. I was just super impressed. Well, I always hated that I didn't know how to behave like a person who is easily liked by others, like the two of you can. And because of that, I spent so much time thinking about my own behavior and all the wrong things I said. But the whole time I should have been thinking about other people instead, not myself. Once I started doing that, I was able to make friends with everyone else. Oh, also, I discovered that sometimes I'm a better communicator when I take the time to write, rather than speak. It's so strange the way things turned out. It's so far different from anything I would have ever expected. But I'm happy. I suppose we don't always know what we really need.
Oh my gosh, you're so cute that I'm gonna throw up!
Okay, please don't do that, Sairi. Besides, I'm not cute.
Hey, isn't that my line?
Oh. Well, for me, it's actually true, so...
What are you saying?
Nothing. I've finished my part, so somebody else take their turn.
My heart!
Sairi, take some deep breaths. Alright, we'll do the same. This is too much. That was so adorable. Ah! Okay, fine, I'll go. Yuri, I can't believe you were complaining about doing this and still went before me. What a show-off. I was just following up on Sairi. It was the easiest way to get it over with.
Besides, you left out the most important thing that you get out of this club.
I did?
Yeah, a regular supply of your favorite cupcakes. Oh no, I forgot that too. I'm a traitor to the Cupcake Queen. Neither of you are forgiven. Looks like only Monica will be getting cupcakes next time. No!
I can't eat that many cupcakes.
Yeah, true. Only Yuri can.
Hey.
Well, anyway, I'm just putting off talking. It's kind of hard to talk about this stuff. But I guess what it comes down to is that I'm in a much better place mentally than I was when I first joined. And that's because everyone helped me realize that I had some really toxic friendships going on outside the club. It was honestly a really painful thing to go through, having to cut them out. It still hurts to think about. I'm sorry, Natsuki. It's fine. I knew it was for the best, and I was right. I guess for me it's all about feelings. I was only ever ridiculed for having feelings, so I thought the right thing to do was just ignore them. It took me a really long time to realize that it's not really how things are supposed to work. And I guess that's thanks to everyone who took the time to respect my feelings, even when I was being, like, the biggest jerk. I'm really sorry for being such a jerk to everyone. I was really the worst. Natsuki's voice chokes a little. I love you, Natsuki. I just hate that I was like that. Everyone did so much for me and I could never do anything in return. It's not true. Natsuki, you've done a lot more than you think. This club really wouldn't have been the same without you. I mean that. Remember how judgmental I was when you first showed up? It was like I couldn't accept anything other than my own idea of what a literature club was supposed to be. Apparently that was more important to me than the opportunity to bring you some happiness. You really taught me that anything that makes someone happy is worthy of respect. You even inspired me to start playing piano. That's something that means a whole lot to me. So there's no need to put yourself down. Okay. Natsuki wipes her eyes. You helped me a lot too! It's so much fun to have you around, and you helped me become a better person. Having a problem doesn't make you needy or inconvenient. It means that there's something that needs to be better for you, and you always deserve that. I agree. Seeing us have some of the same struggles made me a better person as well. I wouldn't want to change anything about our time here. I don't think any of us would.
I'm sorry I got all dramatic again. That's all I wanted to say, so Monica could go now. There's no need to apologize. It was something I wanted to talk about anyway, because it made a big difference for me. I was always such a strict perfectionist who never took enough time to believe in the best of other people. But everyone kept proving me wrong. I made the mistake multiple times thinking that my way was the best for everyone, or thinking that I was needed to solve other people's problems. But I think being a leader means that you have to acknowledge that you're not perfect, and that the best thing you can do is to help guide people, rather than to do everything for them. We're all good people, we're all equals. I think that's the most important thing I've gotten out of the club, realizing what that really means. Sorry, what are you doing?
I just thought that we should be writing some of these things down. Things about the club that are valuable to us.
With a piece of chalk in her hand, Sari writes the word trust on the chalkboard.
This is because you showed me that I could trust you with everything about me, not just my good side.
Suddenly, Yuri takes a piece of chalk as well. She writes understanding. I owe a lot of gratitude to everyone who took the time to understand me, even though it was so difficult for me to express myself. In that case, Monica takes a piece of chalk as well and writes the word respect. I always thought I was a respectful person, but it took for the club for me to realize that there was more to it than I thought, and I'm a better person because of it.
I have another one!
Sari writes balance.
Sometimes people want different things out of a friendship, or they need time before they're ready to become close. So it's important to keep things balanced between you and the other person.
That reminds me, Yuri writes reflection. I've always been a reflective person, but most of it has been nothing more than hating myself for all the things I thought I did wrong. Once I started reflecting on other people, and not just myself, a lot of things changed for me. So I think that's the most important one for me.
That's great. We have a whole list of things now.
Suddenly everyone turns to look at Natsuki.
Well, everyone took all the chalk. Don't look at me like that. Jeez.
You could have just asked. Monica hands her piece of chalk to Natsuki. Natsuki sighs and writes self-love.
I don't know how far I've gotten with it yet, but it feels like things are at least on the right track. So there, that's my contribution.
Together, everyone stares at the words on the board. Wasn't this club supposed to be about literature?
It is! We still do a lot of literature. Friendship and literature.
Yeah, you're right. Friendship and literature. Natsuki and Yuri nodly gent. You would think I would get better at speaking the longer I do it. Natsuki and Yuri gently nod as well. Hey, let's all take a picture together. This is going to be the most adorable thing I've ever seen, is it?
Jog in place for a bit. Okay. Gotta lift some weights. Okay.
It's going to be like that bit in Celeste, except it's going to be like ×4 because they're, or ×2 because they're 4 now. Little mini self-hug, and now I'm ready. Let's see this. We don't have one yet, right?
Hey, you're right. Make sure you send it to me after.
Wait, can I brush my hair first or something? Your hair is immaculate, as always. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ah, you're fine. You already have the best hair out of all of us.
That's all your hairs are adorable. Do not compare, Natsuki. Everyone get together. I can't fit you all in. Okay. Okay, everyone ready? And click. Are we gonna be able to? Are we gonna be able to see it? Oh no. Okay. I did all those jumping jacks for nothing. I'm really glad we talked about this stuff. It's easy to forget how far we've come with only 4 members.
Yeah, I have so many happy thoughts right now. I'm getting some really good inspiration for a poem.
You know, I feel the same way. I kind of want to get some writing done.
Me too.
I think I would like that as well.
Everyone's looking at me again. I'll do it too, but I might not feel like sharing it.
That's okay. The 4 members of the Literature Club disperse and return to their desks, each equipping themselves with pens. Natsuki and Yuri each give each other a quick glance, then start writing immediately. Sayuri stretches then does the same, but Monica is left tapping her pen against the paper, unsure of where to start. Just move your hand, Monica mouths to herself. Right the way into your heart. Her mind full of thoughts, memories, and inspiration, Monica navigates past her mental barriers and begins to write. It doesn't matter what, just that it's something new. Oh, this theme is so sweet. And poppy. Whoa. Oh, God. Doki-Doki Literature Club Plus. Okay, there we go. I was like, what is this?
Yahoo!
Written and directed by... Oh, I guess like art direction and stuff. I was about to say... You were supposed to be directing me that whole time?
Huzzah!
Because I know I won't be able to keep up with the credits, just a heaping, massive, fat thank you to all involved. Everything you see on screen, thanks for all of it. Music, visuals, writing, all was perfect. I have zero complaints. I mean, that's probably not true, but I wouldn't change anything anyways. It was positively magnificent from start to finish. The side stories, I got everything out of that I could have possibly asked for. There is nothing that didn't happen where I was like there was at no point was I like, why not? The whole time I was just like, yes, more, give me more. I mean, from sturdy life lessons to just being generally feel good and introspective, and naturally extremely cute. It was precisely the sort of thing like, whoa, French, Italian, well, look at all the languages it's been in. That's magnificent. Everyone should play this. No, well, I mean, not everyone, technically, right? But thank you, dear player, for enjoying our story of friendship and literature. Well, thank you for adding a few friends to the world. The world could always use a bit more, couldn't it? A few more. Made with love by Team Salvato. Serenity Forge. And thank you also for resisting the urge to throw in... Bravissimo! Oh, perfection! Still one picture missing here for whatever reason. Probably for beating the game or something. Because I didn't actually technically do that when I played through earlier bits. Oh, and they're also, everyone make a funny face. Just giving herself a mustache. Perfect. Adorable. Whoa, what's this about? Artwork drawn by Satchel to celebrate Monica's birthday in 2019. Oh, that's super cute and very pretty. What did I get it for? Oh, finish all the side stories. Right. Okay. I don't know how much I'll be able to put it into a little end review here, because I already have been reviewing it sort of all the way along, just like constantly hyping over the things I like about it. But to start technical, I mean, for a writing project to have 4 characters pair into 6 distinct side objectives and to have them all play out uniquely without repeating themselves is a marvel. And for them to still follow in a sequence somewhat, because they still do lead up to things, right? I mean, like for instance, Yuri being able to help Natsuki through everything she's going through in the 6th one is product of her growth as well to that point, right? Just for an example, like the Yuri from, which one is it? The 2nd one, I guess. The Yuri from Understanding, the beginning of Understanding, wouldn't have probably been able to do that. Might have known how, but wouldn't have probably had any of the other wherewithal. And Sayori's thing was, there was a lot of like growth about boundaries. So in the first one, she doesn't realize that she can extend her boundaries to include Monica as much as she actually can, and so she doesn't. She only confides in her way at the end about things that are really important to that for Sayori particularly would help to confide in someone about. She doesn't do it because she doesn't realize that she has that she is within her right to do so when she gets as close to Monica as she does. And then once Monica lets her into that, that's why she's able to help Yuri in this one. But then also she sort of carries it too far in the one direction a little with Natsuki by trying to bring her into that space really quickly, which is not how Natsuki operates. So there was a clear and definite arc there. And for each character, I would say. And I cannot give enough praise to any piece of writing that can carry multiple character arcs like that and have them all come to a satisfying conclusion. Not to mention while still having some of the most endearing and iconic characters in the dating sim universe. I just can't get enough of these 4. If there was a DLC where it was just them discussing their favorite composition of tacos, I'd probably pay $20 for it. Or more. Because I'm crazy! Anyways, so to take it as removed from the main item, I guess, of DDLC. I mean, they reused some assets, so I guess all my praise to the visuals go to and any of the reused music. Actually, there wasn't any reused music, was there? Regardless, music had its somber moments. Music had its much more bubbly moments. I mean, there was that one song that like sad summer song that came up like a few times, but I can't honestly, and with a straight face, be like, if they added another sad song, this game would be better. I couldn't get through it. All the visuals from the new CGs and the new character art to the old still holds up to me perfect. I would change nothing. I mean, these are gorgeous pieces from not just because I adore the characters within, from framing to everything else. I mean, I already talked about this one and why, for framing reasons, it was great. I'm seriously racking my brain to try and think of anything like that I would change, and there are very few things. It's like that one thing with maybe if there was one more sad song, and so the other one that didn't happen as frequently, and then like very despairingly or disparately would there be these moments where the writing. I know I said before it didn't repeat itself, but I meant in broad strokes. I mean like it would repeat itself in literally just one or two words would be said over and over a short period of time, like that one time where it said twice that Sari plopped herself down in a desk, or was it Monica? Regardless. But to call that a criticism is like to call it mosquito bite a grievous wound. It's just wrong. It's just, there's nothing I cannot. I'm racking my brain because I cannot think of anything I would change. It was just all so good, and I'm so happy that I got to do it. It was well worth the delay in the game shipping. I think. It feels like there's nothing I can ask that can like match the experience. And if I understand things correctly, this is going up on New Year's Eve, which is rather fitting that this momentous occasion should come to a close, as does the year. Just as a side thought that came into my brain. But I suppose here's a question: which character, if you feel like you can bring yourself to answer this, and obviously if not, if this question is too reductive or whatever, please don't feel pressured. Which, if any of these characters' personal journeys in this thing did you identify the most with? And I realize now that I'm asking that question that I probably should have thought about my own answer first. I mean, for sure, all of them have in their own ways. Will speak to each of us in some capacity. In a strange turn of events, and I think it was actually Yuri's whose I found myself following along, like being like, oh yeah, I know what you mean. I feel that the most throughout this. And the reason I say that's strange is because I tend to think of Yuri and myself as being pretty different people. I think I share a lot more in common with basically any of the other three. I don't think of myself as someone who excels at moments of quiet and introspection. I am something of an introvert, like to her, but it don't mean I do well when I think by myself, like Sayuri doesn't, kind of. And I find I don't usually have or attempt to have an air of sophistication about myself that would really shape my interests, I suppose. I mean, I think I lack the capacity to be as sharp as her when it's needed, which she sometimes is when it's needed. But I found myself feeling along with quite a bit. I mean, not that I didn't feel along with all of them, but I most familiarly felt along with her, going along, retracing things that she had done and said with her two other people, and like sort of breaking them down, and first forgiving herself for the things that she wishes she would have changed or said differently, and then being able to turn that into something positive by connecting with Natsuki. Like I found that whole thing to feel very familiar, even though I've never done that specifically, if you see what I mean. It was a familiar sentiment behind it, I suppose. So I appreciated that quite a large bit. The next video is a game that we're going to be starting that is new. The game is not new, but we're going to be starting it anew on the channel, and I gather that I should not be starting more games, and I just wanted to reassure that I will not be. I will not be playing it as frequently as the other games. It's just a thing I'm just gonna like throw into the mix there that I can start up every now and then, and it is very much that kind of game that works that way. And I suppose that's all I'll say about it right now. So be sure to come around and see that if you feel like doing that. That'll be on the 1st of January. Next year. Closing thoughts about this. I loved it. I think I loved it. Sayuri, best girl for life. But obviously, I loved them all. There was none of these people that I would not be happy to spend time in a room with. That sounded so wrong. It's just, God damn it. That's not what I meant at all. I think I would be happy to be friends with any of them. They are all very lovely people. And very lovelily written. This is one of those games where it's like, it's so hard for me to end it. I want to keep saying words or like finding excuses to talk about certain things. But I can't. So I want to just read through some of them again. No, I better end it. Okay, sorry. I'm dragging this out. But I adored this. It will stay with me forever. I can maybe even see myself coming back to it once or twice if I'm in a rough mental headspace, because I feel like mentally lighter after this game. I feel like my soul can jump 3 feet higher. Does that make sense? Thank you so much for experiencing this with me. I hope you got anything near the same level of anything that I got out of it, and I hope its lessons make you feel a little better. It's lessons, and it's fun, and it's sad. I hope they all come together and make your life a little better. Maybe you forgive yourself for some old mistakes you made. Maybe you forgive yourself for some new mistakes you made. Maybe you tell someone you love that you love them. Whatever it makes you do, as long as it's constructive and good. And I hope to see you around in some other things some other time. So with that, I shall reluctantly be out of here now. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I will see you around and I was gonna be out of here. Peace! The first time I'm going to try and do like a half run onto oh, maybe I can jump from, it depends on how fast I'm going, I guess. I'm gonna try and like do a little like jump to get momentum, or just run from here to get momentum there, and then like that. Okay, that's probably not